Hi, everyone. Welcome to Crossing the Threshold with leadership coaches James Wilson Jr. and J.C. Fowler, a podcast for mission-driven leaders navigating what's next in life and leadership without losing what matters most.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going today? Not where we thought we were
Not
going.
where we thought.
We might be doing two today. So this.
Yep. Let's get it, man.
We're gonna turn that over.
Let's get it.
So you came in. You told me you've been up since
3:30.
3:30 a.m.
3:30. Yep.
and wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling.
Tell me,
Big
what's
time
on your
wrestling.
mind? What got you up?
So I had an event, and we had this event, this workshop,
Yep.
and it was this workshop some months ago, and it was a great workshop. I thought it was a great event. You and I were a part of it.
Yep.
You know, it's really this marriage event, things that I really, really love to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serving with my wife. I'm serving in community that I love. It was a great day. I preached. I did some training. We did this workshop, and it was good. At the end of this event, I made this pitch.
Yep.
And it was, looking back, even when I was doing it, it felt like a sales pitch. So
Okay.
what was crazy about the sales pitch, here's what's crazy. What's crazy about the sales pitch is I made the pitch, room full of 50 people, no one responded.
50 couples.
50 couples. Let's make it clear. 50 couples, no one responded. So months later, this like yesterday, I'm just kind of going through my emails. You and I are going back and forth with things. And so I'm looking through emails trying to find something.
Yep.
And I see feedback from this event.
Yep.
And the feedback I got from this event was all like, oh man, this was great. This was great. Man, I love when you and Ashley were doing that. And I'm like, you would think I would be really encouraged and inspired. Like, this was awesome.
Right.
There were two pieces of feedback. And they weren't even negative. The feedback was, man, that sales pitch felt off.
Yep.
So for me,
Yep.
immediately I'm reading the feedback and I'm assigning motive to actions. I'm already saying, oh, well, you know what? That's because they didn't do this. They don't know this. And man, of course, like I'm the black guy coming into this
Yep,
community,
there we
and
go.
I've
Yep.
studied this and I studied that. Like if it was somebody else, I would have listened to it, right?
Right.
Like I'm going through, I'm going through all of these tapes,
Yep.
and I'm going through the tapes of the insecurity. I can't believe they did this. I can't believe they did that.
Right.
And then what was crazy is I finally got to a moment where I'm sitting and I'm like, what is this about? Because for me, I'm up and I'm wrestling and I'm restless. And I'm like, first of all, this was feedback that was from months ago.
Right.
The event already happened. Right? The event already happened. And the fear that I had surrounding that, oh, I made this pitch and they wouldn't love me. They don't respect me. Like, no, that's not true. I'm still here.
You're still
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then and you and I are still building.
Yep.
What's crazy is I'm sitting there, and for me, my faith is so important. And I feel I've learned that these moments are moments where God is trying to get my attention. And so I sit down, I get out of bed, I go to my desk, and I'm wrestling with these thoughts. I've, already judged people and judged this and judged that.
Yep.
And then when I really got to where I was getting, I was clear that not only had I judged them, but then I started looking at myself. Man, you're just a terrible leader. You're just a terrible communicator. Like, why are you even in this? Like, you don't know how to sell. You don't know how to sell. Like, you're not a good businessman. Like, why would
Right.
you even try to do this?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And so then I peeled back some layers, and I felt like God was kind of getting my attention that way. And usually the way I feel like I'm moved spiritually
Yeah.
is I'll hear things repeatedly. Like
Yeah.
I'll hear it in a book, I'll see it in a book, I'll see it in a message I'm listening to, or a keynote, or
Yep.
whatever. It's like,
Whatever it is.
oh, my wife says something. I'm like, what in the? So I heard you preaching a sermon this past weekend, and the sermon title was "Wait."
Yeah. Waiting well.
Waiting well. And so
Yeah.
I'm sitting in this, and as I started to peel back layers, it's like, what's really going on here?
Yeah.
And what was really going on is a couple of things. Number one is I knew that I shouldn't have made that sales pitch. Here's why. Not that it was bad. In a different environment, in a different audience,
Right.
it probably would have went well. But the reason I did it
Right.
was why I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I was making a decision out of fear versus alignment. Right.
Scarcity.
So scarcity versus abundance.
Right.
And so for me, I was listening to some advice from a credible source and good advice in another circumstance. But in this setting, it was like, I needed to figure out a little bit more. I needed to figure out what they needed more as opposed to just jumping into this. And so I put on someone else's system without even looking at, hey, what's really core for me? That was number one.
Dude, just a thought.
Yeah.
I love the way that you dress.
Yeah.
For real, I do.
Thanks,
I got respect on that.
Yeah.
But if I were to put that jacket on right now, I would look silly.
Exactly.
Crazy. Keep going.
And so the jacket itself wasn't bad. The jacket itself is not
Great
bad,
jacket.
but it's for someone else.
Yeah.
And so I was putting on someone else's jacket. And then the other piece that got me was I've been on a journey. And when I started digging, I've been on a journey and I felt what feels like calling, something that is out of body, out of this world. Like I can't quite explain it. It's really deep. And it's something that I knew that I was supposed to be stepping into something different. Some would call it's a dream. Like, so I'm walking in to what I've been dreaming about. And what I'm feeling at the end of it is that I'm scared. Right. So fear is showing up and it's showing up in a bunch of different ways. And it showed up in that space, but it's also showing up in this space where I'm also getting, so that feedback hit me so hard because I had a couple of calls that were like, is it going to go through?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I had a couple of calls or I had a couple of meetings that didn't go the way I expected it. And so fear saying, oh, there you go again.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, so I got so much I want to unpack here. The first question I heard you that I think our listeners need to hear is what's underneath this. Right. Here's the reaction. I have pretty much the same reaction as you. I think most people probably have a typical one. We get some negative feedback, and the first thing is like, well, they're dumb.
Yeah.
But not really. But we
Something's
know
wrong
it's
with
not
them.
like, it's nothing about the person. It's like, well, they must be wrong because, and so it's a defensive posture. It's a reactive posture. But then we come into, or maybe what's wrong with me, or maybe I'm not cut out for this, or maybe I'm not. And you mentioned calling.
That's the series of events. Man.
That's it, right? But can we get to the third space? We always want to be at the third space, right? We have these two extremes. How do we navigate the middle? I think that's where we cross the threshold.
That's
it. Through that third space, even to see the kind of door frame, if you want.
That's the threshold. Yeah.
Yeah. So the third space is kind of where you are now, which is, or where you got to after 3:30 a.m. wake up, right? Which is like, what can I learn from this? What happened? What was underneath that? And moving into that, I do think another, like, this is so good. That doesn't mean you're not still called to this work.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think a lot of times we have, these pictures and we see everyone's highlight reel, right? But we don't see the hard work behind it.
Yeah.
What we normally don't see is all the failures that came with it, right? And failures, sometimes I'm like, I feel like I don't even fail. I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't fail? I'm like, oh, no. I swing and miss often.
Yeah.
And I learn from my mistakes, but fail to me would be like to stop. But it's true. There's still things that prevent me from, or when I get the feedback, I'm like, oh, I failed.
Yeah.
And then, but calling isn't this like, oh, I'm called to this, therefore it's going to be a perfect road.
Yeah.
Even think you talk about your faith.
Yeah.
That's so important to both of us. And you and I really been looking to Moses and Christian or not, most people know that story, right?
Absolutely.
Jewish or not, people know Moses'
Absolutely.
story. He sees a burning bush. Whoa, God is like, hey, I want you to set my people free, go and lead them. And he comes back and he's got all this resistance. And it's not like he was like, great.
Yeah.
He had doubts himself, but he went back and it did not go well. And he had
from the people he was trying to set free.
Exactly. Right? And so, but imagine if he was like, oh, I must have dreamt up that burning bush or whatever it was. Right. So I just think that's so good.
That's good, man.
Here's what I want to hear from you is, okay, so you have this reaction, you have this experience, and we do I'm defensive, and then I'm implosive, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? But then you told me you did something. Where did you go with that to get into the third space?
Yeah, so I had to first get out of my environment, right?
Wow, okay.
So this started while I was in bed and I'm restless in bed. And the knee-jerk response is, I was walking myself through this. It's kind of crazy. My knee-jerk response is, I'm gonna fight through this. I'm a man. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm gonna, like, you're not gonna defeat me. I'm gonna defeat you. So I'm gonna stay in this bed as long as I can and fall asleep. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm fighting
this. I'm going to sleep. And the bride is it's so ridiculous, right? I'm literally gonna go to sleep. And I didn't. And it was about an hour later where it was like, just get up. So I get up. I had to change my environment. I got out of bed. Okay. Put on my robe, blah, 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 go downstairs, and there's a spot in our place where there's a little table by the window. Yeah. And that place is such a sacred space for me. And this is the first time I've probably said that, right. Because it is a space that feels like, I can breathe here. Yeah. So I sat down in that space, and I just began to put on some music for me. That's helpful for me, just to kind of like, let me slow down. I got to slow down because what's happening is my brain is moving, everything's moving. So I needed to change my environment. Number one, I need to figure out a way to slow down. Yep. And so I'm slowing down. And another way for me is I took out my computer and I'm learning this. I love to journal with a pencil or a pen, yep. But I'm also learning in this season, I'm really enjoying typing and journaling because I can refer back to it. Right. I can send it here. I can do this. I can workshop it where I can actually, that's just another conversation. Right. But I'm typing it out and I'm just allowing myself to feel it. Yeah. Like that's the thing that I'm allowing myself to feel all of it, because what I was doing in bed is I'm fighting it. Right. But when I'm sitting down in the seat, I'm like, I'm just going to feel it. Yep. Okay, and anything that comes up, we're just gonna sit here. Wow. And again, where the faith component comes up is that I realize that when I'm sitting in this, so there's this popular, again, it's just like everyone would know Moses, a lot of us know Psalm 23. It's a very popular scripture, and it is, the Lord is my shepherd. Right. I shall not want. Another translation, the Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need. And I said that. And so what was really interesting is that I needed to then get out of my head. So I'm writing, but before I started writing, I needed space to get out of my own head for a moment. Right. And what that was we have systems that we operate in. And my normal system is I'm very analytical and I'll just start analyzing everything. Right. But I needed something outside of my system to speak in to my system, right? Like that. So that's where that word was. It was like, I needed something to come back to me, right? So the way I envision it is, if God is speaking in this scripture, that this is now him interrupting my life, so that I can get whatever that is in here. So that was a process. I started with changing my environment. I started with changing the talk that's happening, the self-talk, whatever's going on. Right. Now I'm also changing my thoughts. Right. And then I'm actually feeling what I'm feeling and processing it in a healthy way. So the process for me is I need to be able to feel it, but I've done this before where I'll just feed the beast. Oh man, I'm just everything is against me. No, my intent is, what is the lesson here? Right. And I wrote down a few times, okay, what's the lesson? What did I learn? Oh, okay, so I learned that I am not going to listen to that friend for this situation because he didn't have the insight of where I was.
So all right, so someone gets some feedback.
Yeah.
And immediately it's doing something.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not even feedback and it's just an event, right?
Yep.
They just failure, no one answered. They put on an event and no one showed up.
Yep.
Maybe it's something relationally and they just messed up. And now they're looking in the mirror and they got to ask some questions. Yeah. And so I'm hearing you say, all right, what can they do? And I think this is gold. Yeah. They can change their environment.
You have to.
They need to slow down. Yep. Whatever that looks like for them. For you, it looked like music.
Yep.
It also looked like starting the process of typing. I love this so that you can stop fighting it and just feel it.
There it is.
And sit in it.
There it is.
But I think the key to the end of this, because in my understanding, in my own experience, like my broken mind can't fix my broken mind, right? And so what you said was you went to the scriptures,
Yes.
so that something outside of the system could speak into it.
Yeah.
And now here we are. And so that could be a text.
Yeah.
That could be
it's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
Right.
It's another person.
Another person.
Which I think would be really
Even,
great.
Yep.
But I also think the last piece is you have become the sort of person that has now this toolkit, this leadership toolkit, where you have anchoring questions. These questions change everything.
Absolutely.
What question are you asking?
Absolutely.
The first question you're asking is, what's wrong with them? The second question you're asking is, what's wrong with me? The third question you're asking is, where's the lesson in this?
Yeah.
What is this doing to me? And in a redemptive way, right?
Yeah.
I have everything I need. I mean,
Yep.
that anchoring question.
There it is.
That is so good.
There it is.
Let's
That's good, man.
let's chop up a little bit, because I had this experience with you, and we have experiences together, but not so often are they so like, wow. We're in our different contexts.
Yeah.
And so you had approached me about this pitch you were going to make, and at a high level, I was like, yeah, absolutely. Let's like you're here to help people. Let's tell them what you offer.
Makes sense.
But it kind of was a little last minute, like, right? It was kind of rushed.
There it is.
And so there's kind of, okay, let's pay attention to that. Pay attention to the tension. And I felt a little off by it, but I'm also such a champion for you. And not off by it in like questioning your heart, off by it in like, is that the best way to do it? Like, whatever. Well, you know what? Like, forget it. Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Yeah.
You told me last night, we were talking about throw the spaghetti against the wall. Let's see what sticks, right? Like, not, people aren't going to die if they're like,
that's right.
Oh, that was uncomfortable. Like,
Right.
Whatever. And so I got to debrief with some of those people afterwards. And I was, and no, everyone, of course, everyone was, James was great. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, Ashley's so funny. That's so good. Ashley's way better than James. No,
of course. Hey, no. I 100% believe it.
Oh, your wife, man, she's amazing. But so, and I'm thinking it through too. And I sent you this feedback a while ago, but obviously whatever things are in the queue. And so now we're actually talking about it real time. We haven't talked about it.
We haven't talked about it. This is fresh. Time. Yep.
And so I'm interested, like, okay, what can we learn from that experience, which you told me, like, all right, that advice from that person, they didn't understand my context enough. I feel like we just pulled back a little bit. It felt a little rushed.
It was rushed.
But I really like what you said, and this is what we're wrestling with as we're building this business, is it's like you put on someone else's clothes, or you put on...
It wasn't authentic.
Yeah.
It wasn't authentic. I think that what's interesting is that, as you're highlighting, is when something doesn't fit, right? You absolutely know when it doesn't fit.
I'll force it though.
Like, I'm gonna go to sleep. Like, you know what I mean? I'm doing this. And so the reality was, it was something, the fact that I asked you,
right,
was an indicator.
Yes, an indicator.
That was like, hey, this wasn't what we talked about. This wasn't what we were dreaming about.
Sure.
This is something different.
Right.
And backstory of that, it also felt forced for me, in that I was now trying to force this into something. Like the day before, I'm now, oh man, I gotta make sure this is all right. This is all right. Meanwhile, that wasn't the focus.
Right.
And so I was anxious stepping into this, because it was like, this isn't authentic. I don't need to carry this. And what was crazy, I heard someone say some years ago, I preached a sermon, and the person said, some more feedback, hey, that was a good sermon, but I was like, yeah, it was I was trying to get in, and it was really, I felt a little anxious. He said, yeah, it kind of showed too. So what we don't realize is that our anxiety in our decision making transfers over to others. Like, it bleeds onto others. And so it shows. And so for me, I think that those are the things that I knew it wasn't the right move. And it took me now months to actually realize that, because I just got back, because I finally read the feedback. That was, I could have done it earlier, but I finally got the feedback. But I think the process up to it is that if something is feeling hard and forced, and that's different, something being hard or challenging is not an indicator that you shouldn't do it.
Right.
But it is an indicator of, wait, why am I doing this again?
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Well, that's kind of, as you were saying that, that's what I was thinking about. So I'm an Enneagram 8, right? So I'm like, if it's hard, it must be good. The line between tough and stupid, I never found it.
Yeah.
Like my wife is like, "What are you doing?
Just
my pinky right now?"
Oh
is
man,
healing from Black Friday football.
Oh man, see,
it's like it's real, bro. It's real. But I heard a mentor of mine say, like, if you're doing, and not to like this, I don't even mean to over spiritualize. It's more about this intersection of the gifts we bring, of the desires we have, of the people we want to help, right? This whole, what calling is made of, this formation, this vocation.
Yeah.
He said, if it's hard, like, then pay attention.
Yeah.
And you just named it. There's a difference between forcing something and something being hard. He said, if you're really doing what you should be doing, it should feel easy.
Yep.
And I'm almost like, I've done some hard things that have felt easy, and not because I'm amazing, but because I felt so called to it. I was in the right lane. It felt authentic to me. I didn't have this anxiety of this dissonance of like, oh, I'm trying to be who I think I need to be, but really I just want to be this person, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, do hard things.
Mm-hmm.
And so how can we tease out? I don't know. This is real time. What are the indicators? That's a great word that you used, of this is a forced thing, versus this is a hard thing.
Yeah. So
we live in a world where doing hard things is like, nah, don't do hard things.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then there's the pendulum where it's like, do it because it's hard.
Do it because it's hard.
You ever hear, just total tangent?
What's my man?
You ever hear 75 hard?
Yes.
75 hard is like, you work out every day, twice a day.
Yeah.
Eat outside.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to my buddy, one of the guys that we're in that men's group with, and he was saying, I failed, man. I got like 10 days in, And I looked at him.
10 days in, so you worked out 20 times.
But I said, hey man, I don't want to knock it when you first told me.
Yeah.
But what's up with this 75 hard thing? Now I get it takes time to build a habit.
Absolutely.
But I'm like, hey, what if we give you a sustainable rhythm and you can execute that, and we won't make it easy.
Sustainable. Yep.
We'll let you work out 5 times a week. Like I just totally. So I'm like, sometimes we just want to do hard things because they're hard, and I fall into that too. That doesn't mean they're good. So just hard.
Yeah, no, it's. There's a study. I can't remember homeboy's name, but he's got like this really cool name. It's similar to like Erickson or something like that, but it's like a long. I don't know if it's German or whatever, but years ago it's about adequate challenge. And what I love about this is that we are made for challenge. We're made to engage in challenge. Like our whole physiological, like we need to do challenging things. That's how we grow. We are the only, when you think about creation, or if you think about just species, we're the only ones, humans are the only ones that has the ability to change themselves, right? Everything else is like, yep, butterfly has to become like a caterpillar has to become a butterfly. You and I can go from rags to riches because I choose to. Right? Or I can become this or that because I choose to. Now, adequate challenge says that there is these zones of challenges. The adequate challenge is right there in the sweet spot, but then you have something that is too hard. Something that is too hard, crazy challenge. The way I liken it is that too much of a challenge makes you go crazy. Too low of a challenge literally leads to boredom and makes you be complacent. And so what we need is something right there in the middle to say, adequate challenge. I feel drawn to this.
That's interesting.
I feel called to this. So those indicators are, is this making me crazy? Yeah, that might be too hard of a challenge. Am I throwing on shame and guilt? Right? Because guilt says what I'm doing is bad. Shame says who I am is bad.
Right.
If I'm throwing on that, I may be in the crazy spot. I may be trying to catch up with everyone else, or do what, whatever that culture is, whatever the language is for the day, I may be trying to do that. But the other one is that complacent, that it's too easy of a challenge. Like I watch my daughter, you'll see this with your son. If they're not being challenged, I don't want to be here.
And they're not growing.
Right. So they need that. And my youngest daughter is so good for that. When she's not being challenged, like, okay, this is boring.
Oh, Well, she's built. Yes,
she's just built different, right? This is boring. And so she needs challenge. And so adequate challenge is right there in that sweet spot where we need to have some inputs, some things that are like, okay, I'm right here outside of, because what adequate challenge is really is taking a step out of my comfort zone.
Right.
That's what I would say, is this indicator, is it taking me outside of my comfort zone? Now, me going outside of my comfort zone doesn't mean that I'm being inauthentic.
Or forcing it.
Okay. It does mean that I'm exploring. It means that like, I've got this sense, I've got this feeling that maybe I should try it. So if I were to take this example we were using, going out of the comfort zone could have been, all right, rather than rushing and forcing that on you or me or the rest of the folks, the comfort zone could have very well just been, hey, this was a great event. If you all want to talk later, I'd love to connect.
Right. Sure, or something. Hey,
small.
This is what we do is for a living.
This is what we do, and I love to connect with you all. As opposed to, I had it in the booklet, I had it on the screen, and I was just like looking back, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that the indicator really is this an adequate challenge? And we use that language crazy. We use that language in my house. My wife, my daughters, they kind of know, like, is this adequate?
Yeah.
Is this causing me to grow? Okay,
so here we have, so if it's hard, because I'm still trying to tease out.
Yeah, go for it.
Kind of land this plane. There's forced, which is inauthentic.
Inauthentic makes you go crazy.
Yes, it's too much.
Mm-hmm. And then indicators are fear, anxiety, shame, guilt. All of these like things. Well, that's not me.
Right.
Yeah.
I almost wonder too if there's where did this come from? Mm-hmm. Like, why are you doing this?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, because this person did it,
mm-hmm.
which isn't not always a bad thing.
No, it's not.
But oftentimes it's not. Okay.
Where adequate challenge is going to be pace, right? The pacing is different.
Right.
It is.
Yeah, it's not rushed.
It's not rushed.
Not rushed,
dude.
Okay.
It's not rushed. Yeah. It's like, all right, and every together community wise, it's like, this feels good.
Right.
You know, and because it's not always going to be like everybody agrees. That's not what I was looking for.
No, totally.
But there are those times where you get some feedback or you get those things just like, this wasn't authentic. And so the goal is authenticity. The goal is how much can I, how much of is this me becoming my best version?
Right.
Or is this me putting on somebody else's jacket?
Right.
Is it making sense?
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then just to flip it a little bit.
Yeah, it's good.
For our leaders listening, there's this, you always talk about self-leadership, team leadership, family leadership, organizational leadership,
man.
right? So we talk a lot about self-leadership.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's transferable. But I'm even thinking for a team, a little takeaway to flip it is like, okay, we want to provide people with adequate challenge. Here's the thing about leadership, just life. You can't force anyone to do anything. Right. And we know when people are so resistant and we're trying to force them. And we could pull on that thread a lot more.
Yeah.
But I do think just a kernel for how do we lead our team is we want to make sure they have adequate challenge, that it's not so low that they're bored or
disengaged. Yeah.
Disengaged. It's not so high that they're like it's a force fit and they're anxious to come to work and they're not it. But that doesn't mean they're not challenged.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm thinking for the leader listening right now who is thinking about, okay, I'm having this experience, or I had this experience, I got this feedback, I this event flopped, I failed at this thing, I messed up in this relationship, whatever it is. Give me kind of one closing thought on like, here's.
Yeah. You are not what you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I would say find something that is solid, that can speak into the system that is you when you start to go astray.
Yeah.
All right. Challenge. Try and cross the threshold this week whenever you encounter this thing, this experience.
Whatever it is.
I would say one thing that you could do is follow these steps. Change the environment. Slow down however you need to do that. remember, you want to feel it. You don't want to fight it. And then, find something to speak into that system, something outside yourself. That's good, man.
It's good, bro.
That's good.
It's great. Let's go, man. Thanks for watching Crossing the Threshold with James Wilson Jr. and JC Fowler. If this helped you take a step forward, like, subscribe, and share it with another mission-driven leader navigating their own threshold moment. Until next time, keep moving forward with courage and hope.